This is Meri at the Meri Atelier, and it's Friday night. Excuse the little wiggling of the camera. It's my phone that I'm streaming on. It'll even out here in a minute. It is September 29th, Friday evening. Time to do some Friday art. Yes. So, yeah, I'll be chatting for a little bit while I'm waiting for folks to come in. I'm working on my art journals. I finished up my tats for my tassel. I might work on this tonight depending on how much time we have. The tatting part is done. I have some, I don't believe this is real silk. This is kind of like a polyester blend, but I'm going to make a tassel, and the words Meri Tats are going to go on to that. Hi, Mina. Welcome, Mina. We're going to have some fun tonight. I met a new FIBdiggity character this afternoon. Yes, I did. Just popped into my brain and said, I'm here. So I'm going to introduce you to, well, actually, there's two of them, to them. Yeah. Let me go over here onto my laptop or my tablet and get into my channel so that I can see folks coming in. So we're going to tell a little FIBdiggity story about these new folks. They are folks. Got 5 of you watching out there. If you're up in the balcony, welcome, welcome. Glad to have you join us. Come on in if you feel like chatting. If you don't feel like chatting, you're welcome to sit up there in the balcony and watch and listen. And welcome to, hi Melody, hi Joyce. Welcome to anyone who's going to be watching the replays. Glad to have you. I do have several people that watch the replays. Let me straighten out my camera a little. I can't tell up here when it's crooked, because it shows the entire, I don't see the edge of the desk. Let me see. Well, no, I guess it shows pretty much. Let me zoom out a little. Nope. Zoop. How is that? And then straighten it a little. Is that any straighter, or did I make it more crooked? Well, we'll go with that for now. It's good to see you. I hope that you are all off to a good weekend. Oh, you're going to like this one, Mina. This one's going to be fun because it's going to lead into, in the title, I have Genius Plays a Game. And we're going to play the Genius game tonight. And it won't be difficult. To give you a hint, one of the characters that we're going to meet is a genius. A humble genius. He doesn't know how smart he is, but he's pretty smart. So that will give you a hint of our story. I'm going to wait till a few more people come in before I start telling it. Oh, wait, Joyce said, oh, Joyce, Tinker passed away. I'm so sorry to hear that. Tinker was Joyce's little dog, and in fact, Tinker was the first dog that I sketched with that when I was doing those crayon portraits of animals. Oh, I am so sorry, Joyce. Oh, my heart's just broken. Oh, how old was Tinker? Mina's asking. Yeah, Tinker had inspired a whole series of animal portraits, and I was doing them in melted crayon with paint and ink, and it was more of a mixed media type thing. He was 7. He had an enlarged heart. Oh, what a sweetie. Well, Joyce, take some time to celebrate his life, but then think about getting another one because you need the companionship. I wish that we could have a little doggy here. I've hinted at it several times, but my brother doesn't want one, so I will respect his wishes. So, hugs and prayers to you, Joyce, going out to Jude. You know, a little animal like that, and Tinker was a small dog, if I remember right. Um, you know, they're almost like your family. They certainly have their personalities. And when I was doing those portraits, it usually takes me 2 or 3 tries to really get the animal looking like the animal, but there's a point when I am doing one that I go, I captured it, I got it. You know, there's just something about their personality. I don't know if it's the way they hold their head, the little glint in their eye. I don't know what it is, but there's that one point in drawing where their personality just pops through. And it takes a lot of practice too. Melody says, Joyce, I'm so sorry. I had a dog named Tinkerbell, and she died at 16 years old in 2020. Oh. Do you have another dog now, Melody? What did Mina say? Mina says, how old was Tinker? He was only 7. Mina says, Joyce, I believe that animals have souls. You'll see him again someday. I don't know if they have souls in the same way that we do, but I certainly believe that there are animals in heaven. I believe you will see Tinker one day. If they have a soul, they have an animal soul, you know, just like they do down here on Earth. I'm certainly no authority on it. It's just my personal belief. But I do believe, I mean, there are a lot of people out there who think that animals are just for our pleasure down here on Earth, which they are. But there are a lot of people who don't believe that we'll have animals in heaven, that we're just going to bow down and worship Jesus all the time, every day. And I don't, you know, I think that, I personally think there are animals in heaven. For one of the reasons is Jesus comes back on and he's riding a white horse. Melody, he's riding a horse. So I think God loves animals just as much as we do. And I think they're for our companionship and our pleasure. And it's my personal belief. I can't prove it chapter and verse, other than I know Jesus rides a white horse. and of course, you know, they could come back and say, well, that's allegorical. But, you know, I just tend to believe that there will be animals in heaven. I think there'll be birds and all sorts of animals. There may be animals that we haven't even met yet. Good ones. Mina says, the joke's on those people because animals are mentioned in the Bible. Yes, they are. Melody says, yes, I have 4 other dogs. Well, we know Melody loves her horses too. You like horses. Do you have horses? I think you do, Melody, if I remember right. Of course, I get mixed up. Melody says, yes, I love horses. Tinkerbell was my special friend, Melody says. Oh, oh. Well, our hearts go out to you, Joyce. You take some time to enjoy your memories of Tinker, but do consider on getting another one too. Wasn't it Lori Loves Montana who recently lost her little dog too? I know she lost her mother, but I could be mixed up there. Some other art in our art group, some other person just recently lost their doggie. So, well, I have been playing in my art journals, my desk journals. I got all I'm hoping that Janet gets them by tomorrow. I sent them off Tuesday, the zines. And so my last stream, I pretty much completed July, and this is August and September. Now, I'm not going to work in this per se, you know, as far as putting it together. I'm going to grab a couple pages for September because it's going to go with the stories. I'm going to work on the backs of some of these pages because I've got a lot to work on. And I'll just take, well, that one's a ledger page. Let's just take this one and pull it out. What's this? This is more. See, I have plenty to work on. We did get my car fixed. My brother could get the lower, my car, the hydraulic lifts of the back window, the back of the hatch, you know, it's a minivan, and how they have those back doors. Well, they lift on little hydraulic lifts that are on each side of the door. But they give out, and they have no warning that they're giving out. I just went out one morning and I opened up the back door to my car and the back hatch, and it fell right back down again. And I thought it was going to be more expensive to fix, but I was talking about it in one of my streams, and Becky happened to be here, and she said, go to AutoZone. Well, I didn't think we had an AutoZone here, but I looked it up, and we certainly do. We have an AutoZone here. I'm going to put a piece of wax paper down. And so I did. We went in, and I thought they were going to be more expensive than they were, too. They were not that expensive. So I lucked out twice. I think I paid around $38 for both of them. And I thought they would be $80 a piece or something, and they weren't. You know, because I'm used to having to pay a lot of money for car stuff. Let me put some, I just got fresh water tonight, so this water is clean. And what I do here is I splash water on my desktop, and it holds, I'm going to put some wax paper down, and it holds the wax paper in place. So I'm going to introduce you guys to a new FIBdiggity character in my story tonight. But Tinkerbell was my special friend. Has my chat not moved? Let me bring this down here. Hold on. Now, if you want to follow along when we get to the game part, you're certainly welcome to. I know you'll need a piece of paper. That's all I know at this point. And you'll understand when we get there. There. So I put water on my desk. I learned this when I was baking a pie one day. I didn't want my wax paper to move around, you know, and you roll out your, and the counter happened to be wet from whatever I was doing. It works best on a non-porous surface. This is paper over here. And my pie crust didn't move anymore, and I said, I could do that in my art room. Why go buy a non-skid mat? And you can just pull it up. It does dry out. It gets dry. Let me refresh my chat. Hi, Mr. Eternity Artsploration. It's good to have you in here. Good to see you. We're talking about animals. Joyce lost her little doggy yesterday, Tinker. And I had sketched Tinker in one of my earlier streams last year. It's been a couple years, I think. And Melody loves horses. So let's I think I'll just start with the story. And I'm just going to kind of tell it in the way that I tell it. It's not a formal story. I just spit it out. But FIBdiggity is the now name of our little fictional art town. It's a internet community. It's an internet town. It's an online community, but it is a town. And it has kind of grown out of another community that we had that was called Fibsville. Fibs, Friends in the Box, of course, came from Dee Dee's group. And Ville, Fibsville. And for a long time, we were telling stories and playing in Fibsville. This feels dry here. I need to put some water in here. And then we had a storm a couple years ago in the winter, January of one year. I can't remember. It's been a couple years. And it kind of did some damage in the town, and we lost some people. But we decided, the city council decided to rename the town, move on. After you have storms, you move on. And we named it FIBdiggity. And we kept the fib, F-I-B, Friends in the Box. And diggity is a word that intensifies another word. It's called an intensifier. I looked this up. And, like hot diggity. Well, this is FIBdiggity. So I have intensified friends in FIBdiggity. And so that's how FIBdiggity got its name. But we kept the town motto. Now, the motto for the town is a small town in a big park. So there are a lot of trees in FIBdiggity. And we've kind of played off of that in a sense, not a whole lot. But there's a lot of trees. And of course, this autumn is coming in real life. So there are a lot of sightseers. And we, in our community, online, because we're fictional, we welcome people that come in to take pictures and enjoy the change of seasons. Usually have beautiful trees. We don't know what they're going to be like this year, what the color's going to be, but in our imagination, they're going to be beautiful. And in our story, they'll be beautiful as always. So, the Meri Atelier is a building that I call myself Miss Meri in the story. I identified myself a couple years ago as a reluctant retiree. Now, I kind of lost that reluctance over the years. I'm enjoying my retirement now. But when I first moved back to Nebraska, I kept saying, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the roof above my head. I'm grateful for the provision I've had, but I'm really not happy. I'm grateful, but I'm not happy. I kept saying that. Well, I've kind of lost that too. Now I'm happy. So it was an adjustment for me, but in my story, I called Miss Meri, who I'm kind of modeling after myself, a reluctant retiree. And she had to retire. She was, of retirement age, and the circumstances of the economy and everything sent her back to her hometown where she grew up in the story. Now I'm talking a story here. It kind of in real life too, but we'll dwell on the story. And so she moved back to Fibsville, and it was called Fibsville then. And there was a building open, an old general store, which is really more of a department store than a general store. If you think of a little wooden building, it's more of an old department store like the old Montgomery Wards and the old Sears stores. Even in small towns, they were pretty elaborate affairs if you stop and really look at some of them. And the architecture in some of these small towns, the brick buildings are really, especially if the small town is a bigger small town. The small towns, they're just little wooden storefronts, but department stores in some of these, and most of them have closed down or been remodeled in real life. But anyway, when Miss Meri came home in my story, the reluctant retiree, she discovered that the department store, the general store, she calls it a general store, building was vacant. It was not being used. And so she researched it, and she wanted a gathering place for local artists. And there's a whole story behind all that. I'm not going to go through it. Just let you know that that's where we get in our story, the Meri Atelier, if you hear it in the story. And what it is generally is, I haven't told a FIBdiggity story for a long time, but in the story, a group of community artists get together, mostly on Saturday afternoons, and just work on projects or do special projects, whatever, whatever's going on at the time. Well, in this story, in this version of the story, Miss Meri is getting ready for tomorrow afternoon. She has gone into the building and, making sure things are clean, the tables are set up, and, things are just ready to go. And now we're getting into the story part. While she's working around, a little bit of deja vu happens. This young man walks in, and she tries to explain to him that this is not a store building, it's just a meeting place now. It's a clothes store, and kind of explains the whole setup. And while they're talking, she asks him, she says, I haven't seen you around, and I've lived here for a long time. I generally know people around here. Are you new to the community? And he explains that we, in quotes, he says, we are students at the college in Mechanicsville. Now, Mechanicsville is another little local community close to Phibbsville. Every now and then it'll show up in a story. And there's a college over there. And he said, we're new to the area, but we've heard that the trees around FIBdiggity get really pretty in the fall, and we want to photograph them and paint and draw them. And I'm going, oh, are you an artist? And, he says, yes, we are. And I kept hearing this word, we. And about that time, the door opens, and I hear a young lady call, Art, Art. And that turned out to be the name of the young man, is Art. Like short for Arthur, but he gets called Art. And so I asked him his name, and he says, my name's Art Painter, Payntter. I think that's how they spell it. And he said it really means painter, like the profession of painting. And but they spell it differently. So I've learned his name, and I said, well, what is the name of your young lady? Oh, that's Rose. And I go, Rose? Oh, we know a Ruby Rose here. She's a little gnome that roams around the area. And he says, you have gnomes here? And I said, oh, yeah, and we've got fairies, too. And he goes, wow, I never knew that gnomes and fairies existed. Well, they do in FIBdiggity. And I turned to Rose, who is obviously either his classmate or his girlfriend, and I think it might be a significant other. And I asked her, well, your name's Rose. What is your last name? And she says, oh, my name is Rose Blossom. So there you go. We've got Art Painter and Rose Blossom as two new characters in FIBdiggity. And so I asked them what they're working on. They explained to me that they're just exploring the area. I said, well, the trees haven't really blossomed out into colors yet. And he said, yeah, we know, but we're just looking for good spots. They must have had the weekend off or something. They're new freshman college students from another part of the country. And they're going to college in Mechanicsville, and I just conclude that they are freshmen because they haven't been around in this area yet. An emporium, Nina says? An emporium. And so I asked to see some of their work. And so they get out one of their journals and they show me some of the things that they do. And it's beautiful. It's fascinating. And then they pull out one journal, and I said, well, what's this? And she said, oh, that's our journal. We collaborate on that. And we both work on the same page. And I go, well, that's interesting. And I thumb through the pages and go, these are really fun. They're really interesting. And I said, well, how do you do that? Where do you get your inspiration? And Rose looks at me and says, Art is a genius. Art, the young man, is a genius. And that's where we get the title of, wait a minute, I got out of my stream here. Genius Plays a Game. And so they're going to show me how they collaborate. And this is where it gets fun. Now, I'm going to show you what he showed me in the story, and then we're going to do it here. So if you want to play along, I would say just get a piece of paper, maybe if you're nearby, pencils, or I can't tell you what, because I don't know yet. I can't tell you everything that you need other than a piece of paper. It's not going to be long and involved, I will tell you that. It's because we're just learning this. We may develop it further as we work with it, maybe in other streams, but tonight it's going to be pretty short because I don't want to lose you guys. I'm going to get a sip of water. So, you know, this young generation, they're into technology. And I don't think there's a person here who hasn't heard of artificial intelligence. Whoops. And so we're going to go out, and he's showing me ChatGPT. Now, you guys see me use ChatGPT before in here, which is an AI machine. Now, not as a part of the story, but just before I signed on here, on Creator, I believe it was Creator Insider. Let me see. Let me turn my sound off so that I don't. Let me go out because I just watched it on my phone. I didn't get to watch the whole thing because I had to sign on here. Let me grab this link. It's in my library. No, it's not in my. It's come on, library. It's. Oh, it's not here. Well, that's phooey. I just watched it. Let's see if it's in my subscriptions here, because it should be right out. Oh, you know, I'm in my other, let's go back to my Meri Atelier account. That's where it's at. Now let me go to my library. It says play something. Here. Yes, it's the Creator Insider. Let me grab the link to this video and share it with you out on my stream. Let me share. Copy link. Because YouTube is starting a new... Now, this is not part of the story. This is real life. YouTube has started YouTube Create. It's an application where you can create your videos and edit them on your phone, on your mobile phone. Now, I could do that generally anyway, but I had to go out and use another editor. Well, this is YouTube's editor, and it's another thing, another tool that they're giving creators. And this title intrigued me. I want to go back and listen to this channel, this video again to find out everything she says. She starts out talking pretty generally about wanting to give creator tools that will inspire them and everything. But the title says YouTube's Create and AI Tools Explained. So there's something in there that I think they're aiming towards some AI in there. I don't know. I have no idea where they're going with it because I just saw it tonight. Let me come back out to my stream here and drop the link. This is Creator Insider. Creator Insider. And I watch this channel all the time because they are kind of YouTube's, they're a liaison between the creators, the people who develop content on YouTube and YouTube itself. They're kind of a liaison. They explain a lot that's going on YouTube. Let me clear my notifications. So if you're interested, go listen to that video. But the way that it relates to my story tonight is this young man, the younger set, I would, they're more technologically oriented than most of us who, I didn't even have a desktop computer until the mid-1990s. So, and, I was way out of college and working a career job by then. And the people growing up today and the people that are going to create tomorrow, they've grown up with computers their whole life. So they're I call them geniuses. They're little geniuses. So Art Painter is a genius. And I'm sure that this is going to be developed a lot more. But he was showing me in my story, we're back to my story now, how he went out to chat GPT, and that's where I'm going now. Hopefully it'll let me in. Come on, let me in. Oh, it says expired. Logged in. Log in. I always have this problem. Log in. Come on. I'm trying to log in. It says get started. And I'm going to continue with Google and my Meri Atelier account. So, it wiped out all my questions that I had here. I don't see any new questions here. So he was showing me how you could say, and I put in several different things, got several different responses, but I'm going to try to put in the most recent one. Give 5 art techniques, and this is kind of like a prompt game, but let's see what it says. 5 art techniques that can all be done, and it'd be pretty specific, done on paper and I'm picking here, so that's why I'm at the same time. And if I don't do it this way, it'll give me 5 techniques, but it'll be like 5 different projects. So I'm asking ChatGPT, which is an AI engine, an artificial engine. It's well known out there now. There are a lot of artificial engines, and there is even something that they call generative AI, where ChatGPT is more of a text-based. I can't paint pictures. I can't, it'll give links. You can link. But there's a limit to what ChatGPT can do. But there are other tools, artificial intelligent tools out there that will paint pictures for you and all that. That's not where we're going. We're just going to kind of say, inspire me. So, and this art is showing me what he did. And this is what they did when they played their page, when they did their collaborative page. And Rose would do one prompt and he would do one prompt, and it would come up with some really interesting things. And the 5 that they gave here was, first one they said mixed media, which is a pretty general term, but it says combine various art mediums such as watercolor, acrylics, colored pencils, ink, and collage elements on the same page to create a multi-dimensional artwork. So they're saying work with different things, and I think of this more like a background. Then the second one, they say layering, build up layers of different media. Would start with pencils or charcoal. So It really has, it's kind of given you general things that you can do. Pointillism, create intricate patterns and images by using tiny dots with different colored pens or markers. You can overlap these dots to blend colors or create different detailed imagery. The fourth one, they say stippling, which is similar to pointillism. Stippling involves using small dots or markers to build up shading and textures. You can combine stippling with other techniques like hatching or cross-hatching for added complexity. Now, see, those are pretty good prompts, wouldn't you say? Even though I don't see them pulling it all together as one yet. I see this more as background, what they're doing. Collage and paper cutting. Here you might get into putting some images on. Cut out shapes or images from different or colored texture pages and glue them into your paper. This can be combined with drawing or paintings to integrate collage elements into your artwork. Those are pretty good things to play with. So the second thing I said was, tell me some more. And you can just keep asking it these. It's just like, I want some art prompts other than stencil, dots, that type of thing. These are good prompts if you ask me. I'm going to say, tell me more. So here's Art telling me how, and I'm calling him a genius. Art painter. His name is spelled P-A-Y, you aren't seeing this, T-E-R, I believe. It's a derivative, it's a base word meaning painter if you study the etymology of the word painter. It's where we get the word painter, P-A-Y. I think it's an N in there, T-E-R. I'd have to look it up for sure. Tell me more. Okay, so I'm going to ask it to tell me more. And then we're going to do some of these. Got to send it. Tell me more. It says certainly. So here it's giving me more. Tell me more different ones. Tell me more different ones. So you have to be kind of specific. It gave me the same thing. It gave me the same ones. Tell me more different ones. I'm just going to say ones and see if it can figure out what I mean. Tell me more different ones. Certainly, here are 5 more diverse art techniques that can be done on paper simultaneously. Boy, they said it better than I did. So they list 5. Watercolor resist. Creating interesting textures and patterns by applying a clear or white wax crayon or masking fluid to your paper before painting with watercolor. The wax or masking fluid resists the paint, leaving areas of the paper untouched. So that's pretty basic. Gouache with ink wash. Combine opaque gouache paints with transparent ink washes. Well, that's interesting, to create a dynamic contrast between bold and solid areas. Scratchboard. Start with a black ink-coated paper and scratch away the ink to reveal white or colored layers underneath. You can use various tools like scratchboard knives or fine-pointed implements. I probably won't do that one. I'd have to get out my crayons. Blind contour drawing. Create a unique an expressive portrait or object by drawing it without looking at your paper. Decoupage is the art of decoupaging objects with layers of paper cutouts and glue. Tell me 5 more. See if it can, how far it can reach in there. See if I can get 5 ones different than the first 10. Tell me 5 more different. It's like you're sitting here and having a conversation with a bot. But it's fun. It's fun to do. And I can see, I think this is, did it give me 5 more different? Yeah, it did. I can see where the up-and-coming generation, like I think of my grandniece, I think of people that are just starting school today, that 18 years from now, you know, it's going to be interesting to see the type of art that they create that is inspired maybe by artificial intelligence, but manipulated by you. This is giving you hints of what you can do. It's like reaching into the bottle and pulling out prompts. They did give me 5 more different ones: embossing and debossing, acrylic painting, graffito, SGRAFFITO, involves scratching or scraping the surface of your paper. That's kind of like scratching crayon, but you might have a layer of paint and you scratch through a layer of paint that's still wet. Frottage, I never heard of frottage before. FROTTAGE is a technique where you place a textured object or material such as leaves, fabrics, or even coins under your paper and then rub over it with pencil or, I call that a crayon rubbing. They call it frottage. That's a new term to me. And then monotype printing, which is like gel printing. I'm going to see if I can get 5 more. Let's see how deep into the well it can draw out. So I'm sitting here with Art and Rose in my fictional story, and we're looking for prompts. And this is how they created. They have a separate journal, which I find fascinating. If you could see their journal in your imagination, look at their pages in their journal. This is how they do their collaborative pages in their journal when they want to sit and work together on a page. Or one person may do something and then walk away and let the other person do their thing, and then, you know, choose another, maybe even run another chat GPT. Let's say, tell me 5 more different. Let's see if it pulls out any more. Let's see how deep it goes into ones again. How deep into the well it digs down. Certainly. It says certainly. Oh yeah, that's giving you 5 more. So you'll never get bored. Let me tell you, there's no reason to be bored. Spray painting, stenciling. Now we could get out sprays. I'm not going to do that because I basically have quit using sprays. I might have a little in here. Spray paint stenciling, rubber stamp printing, batik, marbling. I'm not going to get out the batik either, but batik is something that could be done as a prompt. Or blotting. These are additional techniques offer a wide variety of possibilities for your paper-based artwork, from bold and graphic design to subtle and intricate textures. Mixing and experimenting with these methods can lead to innovative and visually captivating creations. So I think I got, let me write them down. I'll use this paper as a prompt page, and then I'll get out one of those other papers too. And we're going to take these techniques, and if it's something I don't want to do, like batik or something, I won't consider it. I'll put it over here. So let's go way up at the top where, now mixed media is kind of a given. So I'm going to put it over here. This whole thing's going to be mixed media. So I'm going to put it over here in, I probably won't list, layering. So this is something that could be done. We're going to choose 5 out of this. We're going to let random order choose 5. We're going to number these. 1, 2, pointillism, pointillism, stippling, which is similar to pointillism, but you're using small dots or mark to build up shading and textures. Stippling. I'm not sure that I've ever done much stippling. I think of, newspaper art. Collage and paper cutting. That one would be workable for us. But we're going to let random org pick, and we're only going to choose 5, and we're going to work them up. Paper cutting. Those were the first 5. The second 5 were the same, so I wanted a different one, so I had to rephrase my question. The second 5 were watercolor resist. And I actually use acrylic paint as a resist. I've done that several times where I'm writing out text, and I write it with my fine liner with acrylic paint, and then I let that dry, and then I put watercolor over it, and the acrylic paint resists the watercolor. So watercolor resist, gouache, and ink wash. I don't really want to get my gouache out, but we could do, I'm going to put / ink wash. We could do an ink wash, or you could do as you wish, if it chooses it. Scratch board. I'm going to put it down here, but I'll probably give a couple of extras too on random org, because I probably will not do that one. Scratch board, because you have to get out crayons, and you have to have something to scratch. And for a page like this that we're doing online, you know, you kind of have to pre-prep some of this. Blind contour drawing. Now this is something, and I'm sure that we've done this before. Create a unique and expressive portrait of an object by drawing it without looking at your page. Blind contour drawing, that's fun. Decoupage, and that's like collage in a way. Decoupage is the art of decorating objects with layered paper cutouts and glue. You can apply this technique to paper itself by layering cutout images or patterns from different papers to create intricate and textured compositions. So we're going to keep that one, decoupage. It's kind of like collage in a way. And then I said, well, give me 5 more, and they did. So the 10th one is embossing and debossing. We could do either one of those. You can either do them mechanically or with a pinpoint, or, you know, with one of your little embossing tools. Embossing, debossing. I'm not going to read the whole technique. I'll let you interpret that if it hits it. Acrylic pouring. Now, I don't, here, I'm going to put acrylic pouring over here, because that kind of involves getting different paper cups and, you know, having your paints out, having a medium to pour. It's something you can do. It's a good prompt, but it kind of have to pre-prep some of this. So I'm going to put it over on the I don't think so list. And the S, I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm just saying S. Graffito. It involves scratching or scraping the surface of your paper. That's a little bit different than scratchboard, because scratchboard is more of a dry surface. In fact, scratchboard, well, you could do it with crayon. I'm going to leave it there, but I would probably not do it on my page tonight if it hits it. If random org picks it, I'll probably do an alternative. But it's called SGRAFFITO. What that involves more is, well, let me read. It involves scratching or scraping the surface of your paper to reveal underlying layers of color. It's often used in combination with techniques like acrylic or watercolor painting to add details or texture. So if you paint some red over a blue area, and while your paint's still wet, if you take your end of your paintbrush and scratch through it, to show the blue underneath. It's a little bit different than scratchboard. It's the same. I see scratchboard as being more of a dry technique, and this being as more of a wet technique. It's just my interpretation. 12 is frottage, and that's another new term to me, but the technique of, I've done it before. Frottage is a technique where you place a textured object or material such as leaves or fabric underneath of your work and then just rub over it, and then rub over it with pencil or crayons. We'd call those crayon rubbings. So, but they have a term for it. They call it frottage. And monotype printing. Now I'm going to put that over here too, because I'm not going to do any gel and monotype printing. I'm not going to do that tonight. Not what I want to do. So I got 12. Is that the last 12? Oh no, there's more. 13. Spray paint stenciling. Spray paint over stencils. So I'm going to put spray over stencils. I have some sprays. I don't know how much of them will work. I think like my, I got that glimmer mist still works. We'll see. I'm trying, you kind of have to choose these based on what you have at hand and what you're inspired to use. But I'm going to let Random Org pick them for us. And then maybe have some alternates. I might pull an alternate out of one of these, just some wild cards. 14, if I don't like the 5 it chooses. Rubber stamp printing, we've done that before. Doesn't have to be new and unique, it just has to inspire us. And I need to do some stamping tonight. 5 is batik. I'm going to put batik over here. That's nothing I want to get into tonight. It involves setup. I'm not wanting to get into all that setup. Marbling. Marbling kind of involves some setup too, but you could kind of pour paint and marble just by drawing your... Apply paint or ink to one half of your page, fold it in half, and press the two sides together to create a mirrored symmetrical images. That's like doing that and you get a butterfly or whatever. There are other ways you could pour ink on there and marble it that way. And blotting. And I'm sure we've all done this before too, blotting. But see, this is a good way to get inspired. Apply paint or ink to one half of your paper. Fold it in half and press the two sides together. Oh, that was blotting. Marbling is create mesmerizing patterns by floating drops of ink or paint on the surface. I read blotting from marbling. I got those two mixed up. So I'm going to take these prompts, there's 16 of them, and I'm going to do a Random Org here, right while we're here. Let's go to a new page if I can. Where's my new tab? And I'm going to go to Random Org. Random Org sequence generator. Let's see if that takes me to it. Go. And there it is. And we're going to put in 1 through 16, and we're going to pick the top 5. But if you have written these down, and if you're playing along, I'm going to leave these out here. If it picks one that you don't really care for, you're free to pull anything out of here, or even use a wild card, something else that you want to do that inspires you. This is for fun. This is not a test, or there's no rules. So 1 and 16, I'm going to get sequence, and it picked 14, which is rubber stamp printing. I'm glad it picked that one. 12 was this frottage, which was the rubbing thing. 6, gouache and ink wash. I probably won't do the gouache, but ink wash. 2, which is pointillism, and 1, which is layering. Pretty good prompts. So, those are the ones I'm going to use, I think. Rubber stamp printing, frottage. Let's go back and review frottage to make sure I have it right. Let's see. How did I do that? I have to do a new tab and come down here, jump back in. There we go. Oh, that's not the one I wanted. New tab. Show all. Where's my chat GPT? Think it's this one? Nope, I lost it. Let's just start again. Go to history. Chat GPT. There it is. Where is frottage? Frottage is a technique where you place a textured object or material such as leaves, fabrics, or coins under your page. And this, I'm going to use these papers, which I printed on. Let's put, I'm going to call this, I'm going to call it AI Genius Game. This is what's in my head. And I'm going to date it 9/29/23, just for future reference. Really, all it is going out and asking the internet to inspire you with some art prompts. There's nothing wrong with that, is there? And in our story, that's how Art Painter, and I don't want to use that one because it's got the library card, how Art and Rose work in their art journal, their collaborative art journal. So we're going to use this one. I want to use up these pages because I want to build my September art journal. And see, I printed. Now, the envelopes themselves on there are much lighter. They're much prettier. This is still where my printer was printing dark. And the pages are pretty heavy. The paper is pretty heavy. It's hammer mill paper. And we're just going to turn it like this. And I'm going to start with, you can start with any one you want, or you can pull any one of these. I'm going to turn this phone off, save my juice, put it out of the way in a safe spot. Let me get a drink of water and come out and look at chat. I'm going to leave these prompts out here in case if there's anybody following along, you have them there. So let me look at chat. We have 28 people in here. Let me refresh my chat. Welcome to everybody who's come in. Spend Friday night art. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this. This is just, you know, every now and then I have been working on those owls, on the birds. I've been tatting, you know, and I've been doing the zines. And every now and then you just need to break it up a little. You need to break it up a little. Oh, and I'm doing these too. These little bobby pin embellishments. I'm working on those. This one is done. If I can pull him off without. This one's pretty much done. But these are for my journal. This is the fun stuff I'm doing. And I also, one of the things I want to do in the future is I want to tat for Christmas and Thanksgiving. Just little things. And I want to do something else tonight too, but let's continue with this. Let me read chat. Becky's there. Becky says, hi to all. She says, I had to close all the windows, even though we were enjoying not running the air conditioner because a neighbor below us was burning in his backyard. Oh, you didn't want the smell and smoke to invade your senses. PU, she says, I think we're still under a burn ban wide, but no one cares. I don't know, you might have the little town cop coming here. She says, marbling is fun with a bucket of water and spray paint. Ooh, I'll bet that is fun, but don't you have to kind of be outside with that? Kind of reminds me, Becky, when you say a bucket of water, one of my dreams. One of my dreams, I was dreaming that I was mopping the floor, and I dipped my mop. I'm talking a mop that you mop your floor with, a string mop, like a paintbrush. I dipped it into my water, and out came watercolor, and I painted the floor. Sounds like something I would do. Probably painted myself into a corner like I always do. She says the technique or process of rubbing from an uneven surface to form the basis of a work of art. That's interesting. I could do that on some of my tatting. I don't have all my tatting out. I could use that lace too. That frottage. Hi, Becky. It's good to see you. Scott, she says, Scott and I were watching an episode of Hoarding. Now I want to clean and purge. Oh, I'm not cleaning and purging, Becky. I'm trying to straighten up, though. I'm making small progress. It's small because I run into so many other things that I'm doing. Melody says, hi, Becky. That will definitely make a person want to clean. Oh, let's see. And I think I'm pretty much caught up with you. There's not a lot of chat going on. Hopefully you're listening. So if you're close to your desk, get out a piece of paper. And maybe you don't have an ink wash. Pick something else like blind contour drawing. Get a pencil and close your eyes and draw an object. Maybe a coffee cup, or I think of Penelope here whenever I want something to draw. Close your eyes and draw a bird or a rabbit or, something. There's a lot of things here. Layering. Go get some scissors and cut it out of a magazine. That was one of them. Pointillism was one. Pointillism. Oh, I put my... But, you think about pointillism as creating dots. I don't know if I'll do a whole lot of that. I might just do large dots for pointillism and call it pointillism because I don't want to sit here and forever do little dots. That's not the object of this. Those are the first two that it picked. The third one was ink wash. The fourth one was frottage, and the fifth one was rubber stamp printing. Now, for my rubber stamp printing, I've got this, and I've got these text stamps pretty close by. So, I don't know. I might start with those. So, I'm going to start with number 5. If you're here and want to do any of them, start with whatever you want. I am going to print separately, maybe later tonight. I want to print some little note cards. This is a little stamp I got at the thrift store. I'm sure it was at the thrift store. And I want to print little four or five little notepads to put. I want to send off those envelopes, those owls that I have ready to go. So I'm just going to stamp some text on here just to get started. And this is just for fun. This isn't anything, we do this occasionally. Except I'm trying to shake it up a little by doing, asking AI for prompts. And I could go on and on with this. Now, some of the techniques that they gave, I kind of had to work with it. And I want to get a lot of ink on this. And narrow it down. It was giving me things that could be done, but it was, you would do it as a separate project. Oh, this isn't going to be dark enough for me. My ink is, I've used and used and used that one. Let's go for the red. So I've introduced 2 new characters, and we might develop those characters a little bit more in other streams. Talk about art painter, P-A-Y-N-T-E-R, I think it is. It's an actual word that means painter. And his first name is Art. I'm not getting very dark ink on here. I need some ink refresher on some of this. Let's go to a black. I think I need to get some ink refreshers for some of those. I've used and used and used these ink pads. They're not new ink pads. I can refresh this one pretty easy. And basically, all I want to do is, I want to do different things in my art journal. It's already the 29th. This is September. I'd like to do a paper doll yet. I don't know if I'll get it done tonight. I might do it Sunday night. But you know what October is? Starts tomorrow, and we have Inktober. And I do want to do Inktober. And I'm going to do it pretty simple. I'm not going, like last year I did those game pieces. And I'll show you what I'm doing. I'll probably try to do 2 Sunday night. I stream on Sunday night. So this is kind of a text background here. And it says, the next one is pointillism. I'm not going to do that now. The next one is an wash or ink wash. I think I got these watercolors at Hobby Lobby for $1.37 a piece. I think I'm going to do a watercolor wash over this and call it ink. We'll call it ink. And I'm kind of just trying to get text in here. Let's do one more here. Up in here. All right, that's really good enough. That's probably enough. Enough! So, Becky, I watched your stream today, and Becky, I'm going to leave that out. Becky was showing how when she winds her yarn, she's blending the 2 or 3 pieces of yarn together as not pieces, but strings of yarn while she's winding from 2 or 3 different balls, and she's winding them together in a cake. And boy, she did some pretty things. I really liked it. I got some yarn at Hobby Lobby, and that Hobby Lobby yarn is pretty thin. Now, I don't need a whole lot of this. Is sienna, raw sienna. And it is the Academy watercolor. I have a feeling this is student grade. I have not used Academy watercolors. And I'm just going to do a little bit of a wash over this background. And in fact, that brush I got out was a watercolor brush. So let's spray a little water on that. We'll make a wash. And that's plenty of watercolor, let me tell you. That's probably more than I need. Yeah. Oh, that's pretty. I like that. And this is just to kind of inspire you. You don't have to do, this is kind of a wet prompt. If you're sitting at your chair or watching from bed or something, you don't really want to do a wet prompt. You can pick one of the others, like I said, the contour drawing. Well, I lied. I might put some more paint out there because I kind of like it a little darker in here. Although it's not really a wash, it's more painting. Let's get some more of that. Raw sienna. And I'll bet you if I went up there again, which I'm really tempted to, but I don't know if I want to make that trip again. I could get some more watercolors. But the thing of it is, they were in the craft aisle, the clearance aisle, these watercolors, and a lot of them are paints that didn't sell, colors that didn't sell. So a lot of the colors are the same. So it really wouldn't. Another trip up there to get more watercolors, I would just be buying more of the same. So it's not a bad watercolor though. It's got a nice coverage. I would buy them. You pay $6 a tube for them, but anymore, that's the going rate. I'm liking what's going on here for an art journal page. Just get yourself inspired. Now we could even come back, and I didn't use blotting, but they note blotting here. I could blot some of this color in here with my towel. I've done that before when I don't like an area, or if I want it lighter than, sometimes in those, when I did those owls, the background was watercolor and I felt like it was way too dark, and I blotted, I wet the background again and I blotted some of the color away. I was able to do that with watercolor, blot it away. I'm kind of happy with this so far. And I'm just going to keep it simple. We're not going to do a lot of, I am going to get out my heat gun now. If I can get it out without unplugging you guys. I plugged that lamp in the other day, so I unplugged this. Oh, I lost my chat. You could pull out some painty papers and print various stamps and then tear them out and layer them on your paper. Yes, that's a great idea. Well, I think I'll get out my yarn winder this weekend, but I don't know for sure because I need to finish up my tatting projects. I want to make that tassel, and I got the heart that I'm working on and the doily that I'm working on. So I'd like to have those done by next Tuesday. Now this is mostly background. When we get into the layering, we can get into making this page mean something. And this dries pretty fast, believe it or not. This is the other side. This will make a nice page in the journal. And you know, you could even use, you know, get a piece of tablet paper or a piece of stationery and write, just journal how your day went. Use this as background and put the stationery on. It doesn't have to be a big piece. All right, so I've done 2 prompts. I'm going to cross them off here. I've done the stamping, rubber stamp printing. I've done that, so I'm going to check it off. And the gouache and ink wash made a lot of sense to me. So, frottage, that's the rubbing. Now, you could even do that with your stamp, but I think what I'm going to do, I don't know if it's thick enough. Let me reach for it here. Let me grab a piece of, I'm reaching. Let me grab a piece of this lace. And I'm just going to snip off, because I'm going to have a lace giveaway, you guys. I'm going to share some of this lace with you guys. I'm not going to do it till I at least get those birds mailed out. The birds and the 4 owls that I have done. Then I might do a break and have a giveaway and then work on the rest of the owls. If I do too much of that all in one setting, I'm going to cut this off and use it for art. Let me get a pair of scissors out here. And this will just be my art piece here. If I want to get it messy or cut out of it or whatever. I'm going to see if I can't rub. This is pretty heavy paper, but we're going to see. And my paper's still a little wet. I'm going to see if I can't get something out of there. If I can't, I'll move to something else. But I need, well, I don't know. Do I want to use crayon? I'm thinking a pastel would be nice too, but pastel would blend. Let's try this pencil. Let's try it up in the corner here first. Let's just try. Now I can see it. I don't know if you guys can. I can see where that flower is starting to show through, but my paper's wet, so I can't. What else could I use? It's textured enough. Instead of doing that, let's grab a piece. I don't want to grab a piece of that. Let me grab a piece of copper. We'll just use that as an experiment piece. Let's grab a piece of this. This is cut off of when I did those, cut that legal paper down. And let's experiment. There we go. And I even had that pencil sharpener out here. And of course you would probably want to keep this pretty even until you're done. So this is what doing these prompts, it causes you to think, what do I have that I can do? I didn't really want to do crayon rubbing because of the waxy. I don't want to get a lot of wax on this page because I want to do other things on it. Let's come in and really rub the edge here so I can see. And then I might cut around it. I want to do at least the length of the page. Of course, my hands are getting graphite-y. If you had charcoal, that would work. I think a Conte crayon would work. I don't know, pastel would get kind of messy. An oil pastel might work. But I don't have all that. I have it, I just don't have it at hand. Can you guys see the texture happening there? And let's do it out to the edge of the page here and stop. Because I don't want to spend all night on this. I just want to get it pretty dark in here. All right, so let's tear. And of course I got 2 pieces. That's probably be better if I just use one piece. Let's try one piece and see if it gives me a better rubbing. Yeah. Let me do this again. You have to be careful that you don't tear your paper. I'm using the blunt end of my pencil. And I just about bought some varnish at Hobby Lobby. I put it back on the shelf because it was $9, but it was odor-free. It was a Krylon odor-free that you could use indoors. And I just about bought it. Be nice to have in here. I said another time. I just kind of want this to travel up the edge of the paper, and then I'm going to rip it off. And I suppose a colored pencil would look really nice doing this too. I didn't think about getting a colored pencil out, or a charcoal pencil, or... Let's try, because I'm going to use that, but let's try... I want to see what happens if I use, yeah, you can see it. Well, it shows, but it doesn't show as deep, though super tips. You can see it a little in there. It's not working like I would have hoped. I don't know if these would be any better. I don't want to color my lace. Let me try one of these. Well, that kind of works. Oh, I like that. Let's go do another piece here. I like this one too, but it's not quite dark enough for me. Let's go to these. I used on my zines. I used these on my zines, and I pretty much wore them out. The points, I pretty much wore these out. Just doing the zines, the edges of the zines. Let's just go up the edge here. This is nothing new. I mean, people gone out to gravestones. Although in some places that's not legal anymore to go do rubbings off of gravestones. Go out to trees. Kids will... One art exercise for kids is to take them outside and let them do rubbings of trees and sidewalks and different textures. Frottage. Frottage! I kind of like what's going on here. I like that the darker shows up better. So we'll just do it on one side just to get the prompt done. There we go. We'll just call that pretty much done, and then I'm going to tear. And I'm going to let the white edge show. I kind of like white edges. Not everybody likes white edges. And this is actually cream colored paper. Now, I don't know if I want it to show on this side, though. So let's tear it this way. See if I can see. Yeah. And my hands were getting yucky. So this is what I'm calling my frottage. Now I could have started out with that and done that on the background. I'm going to put it over this pencil stuff that I did. And I still have my lace that I can use in art. I'll put it there where I can't find it again. Let's tear this. Okay, I'm just going to put it there as kind of a, maybe I like it over on this side. No, let's put it like this. Let's put it like this. Get a little of that showing. And you could do more of it if you wanted. I just don't want to take the time. And having a good glue stick would help. Maybe I could do this one too. It's a little, this is done with pencil. So if you're uninspired, there's a lot of ways you can get prompts. We went out to ChatGPT and got our prompts here. Do I like that there? I don't know. Let me throw this away because I'm done with this. I think I just like it like that. I'm going to throw this other away. Now layering, I could actually use the lace and use that on this page. I might do that. What were my other prompts? So this was the frottage, so I did that. So I got 3, well, my other pen, I got 3 done. So now I have pointillism and layering. So layering, I think I'm going to do, now keep in mind that this is going to go in my art journal and it's going to be folded like this. So this page will be separate from this page. So I could very well put this lace, well, I think it shows better this way. I could very well put that there and do 2 separate pages rather than one big layout and have 2 different things going on here. My next question is, how am I going to attach it? I've got some jot glue sticks, but I don't think I'm going to use those. I do think I'm going to reach for my, let me get my chair off of the cord or we'll have it. You guys will fall on the floor. My phone always likes to reach. I'm going to use my Yes paste to put this down with, the paper down. I don't know about the lace. I might stitch the lace on. So I use a palette knife to do the, and where's that other piece of wax paper that I had that I was using for my watercolor? Did I? Yeah, we'll use this as a glue base. I haven't used this Yes paste in a long time. Gifted to me by Renee again, Little Red Wagon. Bless her heart, she sent me 2 deals of Yes paste, one small and one big, and she sent me fine art glitter glue. I asked her where she's been lately, and she said she's trying to get her mojo back. So keep her in your thoughts. Now, I got more glue there than what I want. I'm going to keep it on the palette knife. I might want to use it again. How did I have that? Let's put it, I think I just want it kind of peeking out on the edge. I'll put it right in here. Bring it down a little. I like that. So believe it or not, that's 3 prompts. That's 3 prompts. I'm going to close this up, but I'm going to keep my palette knife there. Hopefully I won't knock it off. So now I need to do pointillism and layering. So I would like to use some cool images. And where am I going to get those? I should get out my fussy cuts. Where are they? Who knows? What can I use, she asks. Instead, I'm looking. That's the trouble with cleaning. That's the trouble with cleaning. You move things around and you don't know where they are. I've got ledgers. My mixed media journal. Ooh, I have this. I have a magazine, a Good Housekeeping magazine that I could use. I have a horticulture magazine, and I have a keepsake ornament. I think I'm going to go with the Good Housekeeping and see what I can find. I'm going to layer some things out of here. Let me look at chat again. I lost chat. Live chat. I've got 22 of you in here. Becky says you could pull out some painty papers. Yeah, we read that. So, I'm up with you. I'm caught up with chat. Hi, Kathy Whitney. It's good to see you. Let's see what we can find in here that might be interesting. The Secret Family of Father Duria. But, ooh, look here. This is somebody else's art. How organized crime invades the home. Well, we'll skip that one. Ooh, he's fun. Pick your favorite fruit flavors from Betty Crocker. Look at him, though. He looks kind of fun. Quick embroidery. Birthday pictures. Who says a man can't iron? Oh, sincerely yours. 89% more beef. Some books. All right, I'm kind of liking this guy. Just that much. I kind of like that. And I like the buildings in the background. So let's take this out. Just for the fun. We're just having fun. This isn't meant to be anything. Great hair affair. Here's a comic. Dinty Moore comic. Oh, here they're... Tampax. Excuse me. Ooh, this is fun. Complete in this issue. Escape. Now, this is somebody else's artwork, but there's nothing saying I can't use this in my art journal. And this, of course, is illustrating this story. What schoolgirls want to know about Up Above the World So High. Now, I kind of like that, but I kind of like this. And, of course, there's some nudity going on there. The Fall of 71, the pretty dresses back into town. Look at, they got some, oh, what do they call that? Battenberg lace belt there. And a Battenberg lace necklace. Some of these dresses are kind of cute. I kind of like that plaid one. I couldn't wear it, but... All right, let's see what else. A Cry from the Heart. This would be interesting to use. Oh, now here's some kids. Look who's wearing pants. That would be fun to do, too. Those kids are inspiring. I kind of like that. I could cut them out. That would be another page. And now we're into the cooking section. Here's nostalgic crochet for your home. And they've got doily pillows. Got a doily picture there, little doilies on the table. New ideas for beautiful bathrooms. This is a 70, let me keep my finger in this one. This issue is Good Housekeeping of August of 71. I was a sophomore at the university in 71, I believe, between my junior and senior years. His mother fed him a special formula. That one's kind of cute with the mother and dog, too. The fish. Doggies, hands. Well, you know what they're showing. Sewing your own style. This is all about sewing dresses from Simplicity Patterns. Needlecraft. Good Housekeeping Needlecraft is on sale. Ooh, I like this. Little Girl's Dreamy Sleepwear. I kind of like that. So, I kind of like this. I like this. I like the lady and the dog. I like the kids, and I like this. Now, this would, if I was doing this page, let me hold this here, with this man, these two kind of go together. They're kind of that same, I don't know, theme, kind of. The kids I would probably have to cut out somehow, and I think I'll save those for another day. I think I'm lending toward this, to tell you the truth, or this. I think I'll do this one. Up above the world so high. I could even use those words. Up above the world so high. I kind of like those words. A city is certainly no place to spend your summer vacation unless, of course, you meet a man. Susan Potter, age 22, wearing a bathing suit under a beach shift, trudged slowly up the stairs that led to the top floor of her apartment building to the roof. Her delicately pretty face was set in a small glum mask. It was the first morning of her vacation, and she was going up for a suntan. That's all I'm going to read. It's a story in this magazine. So I'm going to go, here she is sunbathing. She's got clothes on. Looks like somebody came out to meet her. But we're not going to use all that. We're going to do, or we could use the bridge over here. I kind of like the bridge too. The bridge would go better over here. Oh, I wonder, I already put that down. See? Now, I like that text. Let's just tear. Now, this is the layering thing. So maybe I'll do some more layering other than this. So I feel like I need something more on this page. And if I put it there, I'm going to tear it here. Now I have to do the pointillism too, so maybe I'll layer the pointillism. So this is the layering prompt that I'm doing. It's really more than what I want. I don't want to take any more of that though. We're going to let a little of this, because I'm not going to get much showing through. So I'm losing a lot. Unless I just do half of the bridge. Yeah, there goes half of the bridge. It looks like a tower now, not a bridge. Maybe it was a tower. Because I want more of my background to show. All right, I'm happy with that. And then on the man here, this is Betty Crocker ad. Imagine making a moist, rich-bodied Betty Crocker cake with the flavors like sun-kissed, orange, sun-kissed lemon, cherry chip, double pineapple, or Chiquita banana. And imagine topping that cake off with a creamy smoothie, smoother than homemade Betty Crocker, ready to spread frosting in any of these flavors: sun-kissed orange, sun-kissed lemon, or cherry. Now, you just go do that. So go to your grocer's today, pick up your favorite fruit flavors from Betty Crocker, and give your family something imaginative for dessert tonight. Well, I'm not going to use it all. I like the cart. We're going to cut around here. I'm going to cut out all the fruit. I like the man. And I kind of like the building, but I don't want it here again. I want to keep my background. And I was thinking I'd put them over on this side. So as much as I like these steps, maybe I'll put those steps over there. Let's cut this here, like this. I threw away the rest of that bridge, but I still have this. But I want that to show. Let's cut these steps out. These steps intrigue me here. Let's just do the steps. Yeah, I'm cutting up a really cool picture, I think. Making a mess out of it, Meri? Uh-huh. There's an ad on YouTube. Well, several ads. I've noticed more of them recently. They're copying each other. But they'll take one person and they talk to that. They're talking to themselves. Only their other self is in a different outfit and looks like a different person. And so, whatever they're advertising, I kind of like that stair going there. And sometimes when I talk to myself, I think of that ad. All right. This is the layering side of things. And I'm really getting into the layering here. Let's put it right, maybe in the center. And I have these, see, these were on different stories completely. I think I need another vertical here. And the one I want to take is this one. You just have to say, I'm destroying something cool, and go for it. And, you know, just realize that we get these things for art. And if we don't use them, they'll probably get thrown away. Now, I kind of like that. It's got a little wire thing there. And I kind of like this, but it really doesn't make much sense. But this will be one page, and this will be the other page, and there'll be other pages in the center. But this needs step going to somewhere. So I need more. But let me put these things down and see if I can arrive at more. We'll save these for now. There's some balcony. I kind of like that. Maybe up in there. I kind of like that. We'll leave that there for now. You'd probably go bananas. I kind of like that. She's going bananas. And then the other the other wording is up above the world so high. So let's go ahead and put these down. Where's my wax paper that I was using? What did I do with that piece of wax paper? Of course, it's under everything. See, I have to have it kind of tell a story. I have to have things tell a story in my world. I like to tell a story. So what is the story is this telling? You know, I could bring this up higher and have more space in there. Yeah, I'm going to put this piece down first. And I was telling the story of Art Painter and Rose Blossoms. They're the two new FIBdiggity characters who wandered into FIBdiggity. They're college students. They're new college students, and they're searching out cool places for leaf watching to paint and draw. They're doing art. Now, he's more of an engineering student. She calls him a genius. And he says she's not so dumb herself. And I'm just getting to know them in FIBdiggity. There's a lot more to their life. I kind of like this going over meeting this brick wall here. We're going to make it do that. So that's my story going on in the background. I'm going to put this down here. I like to tell stories, but Art is a storyteller too. So we're going to get some stories out of him. Not tonight, but probably later on. And they're college students in they're going to college in Mechanicsville, which is a town close to FIBdiggity, a FIBdiggity neighbor. I'm going to trim this off a little, about a ½ inch or so. Should I put it way over? I think I should. So I have this space. It really should go, shouldn't end there. It should end, well, it could end there and let this be the vertical. I'd like to have it go over that way. We have this space, but I'm gonna do what I have here. Oh, what's on the back? It says, if you could squeeze, all the lemons it would take to fill this bottle. Well, we're going to glue that down. No squeezing lemons on this page. And I'm just going to put it right out to the edge, and I'm going to let it hit this vertical bridge. You see, I still have the other side of this bridge. I could layer more. I have to think about that. I don't know if I want to do that. This is layering prompt. Cut this off. Now we're going to throw it. Using that yes paste, my fingers get sticky, but that's just the nature of it. Now, I like this guy. I think I'll put him right here. I think I'll move him over a little. So I want to get more of this. And I don't know. Maybe, where's that brown? We could bring this over here. This is the other side of that bridge. Now, if this were a 2-page layout, I mean a 1-page layout, but it's going to be separate pages. So I don't know if that really works for me, because I think I like the... Let me get a drink of water. I'm creating from these prompts that we got from ChatGPT. And then I had Random.org. We got this prompt. I asked ChatGPT to give me 5 prompts unique prompts that I could use simultaneously on a piece of paper. And they gave me, I did it several times. I did 5 at a time, and then I picked out the ones I didn't think would, it takes a little more setup, like acrylic pouring and batik. Some of this takes a little bit more setup. So I narrowed it down to 16, and then I asked Random Org to give me 5. And they gave me layering, pointillism, ink wash, gouache or ink wash, frottage, which is a rubbing, and rubber stamp printing. So my rubber stamp printing is this text stamp, and that watercolor is this kind of a, what they call that, raw sienna? But it's kind of, it's more like a gouache. This is, it's transparent, but it's also very chalky. So I would definitely say this is a student grade watercolor. It's Academy watercolor. I don't see a lot of sheen to this watercolor. So it's almost like a gouache if you look in here. I would not buy a whole set of it. But it's okay for finding it on sale. This color is raw sienna. It feels chalky to me though, which is, it's all right. So that's what I'm doing, and it's fun. I'm pulling it into my story of these young kids who wandered into the Meri Atelier on a Friday afternoon, and I was in there getting ready for the Saturday meetup, just making sure things looked halfway decent and clean and blah, blah, blah. And they wandered in, and I'm getting to know them. Art painter and rose blossoms. And I tried to tell them that the leaves haven't turned color yet. And they said, that's okay. And they had art journals with them. So, you know, they like to go urban sketching and photography and that type of thing. And in my story, I noticed that they had an art journal that had some really unique things going on in it, and I commented on it, and they said that was their collaborative journal. And I said, oh, you know, how did you do that? And that's where they showed me, because they're into all this. I got way too much glue here. All into all the newfangled stuff, because they're college kids and grew up with computers. In my story, they showed me how to use ChatGPT to get inspired, art inspiration. And this is just one way. There are probably a lot of other ways. And this is how we're doing it tonight. So, if you meet some young people, don't dismiss them as amateurs because they know their stuff. This doesn't quite fit, but all right, I'm pretty happy with it. Now, but it needs more. I have one more prompt to do here. What did I do with my prompts? I put them over here. I'm going to call my layering part done just by collaging images on here. But I might come back and do more. I might try to pull this. This one really needs a focal image too. I might go back and get one of those focal images. Maybe that lady with her dog. I didn't get this glued too good. Maybe I'll do that now. It needs, he's our focal image over here. Maybe I'll go back and get that lady with her dog. And she's maybe be at the top of the stairs. Let's look and see what I have in here. Got the fan blowing, and it's blowing my papers around. What time is it? It's, oh, look, it's almost 9:30. I'm only going until 10, so I won't get to my tassel here tonight. I'll probably go out and work on it in the... So I'm just using images out of this 1971 Good Housekeeping magazine. And might as well use this stuff. She's cool. I could use her on another page. I like that. I kind of like his hand, too, now. It's all about crime. I had that lady This is home interior. Having great shape doesn't mean you're in great shape. Or getting your club of choice. Oh, look, hallelujah. Let's cut that out as a prompt. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. I'm going to cut that out as a word. Here's the woman. Would she fit in here? Yeah, she's kind of big though. Find something else. I kind of like the boys. This is all about fabrics that give good wear for young men, buying boys slacks. Becky would know about that. We're going to cut it out. We're going to use those boys on these steps. Because I want a focal image. And I'm just going to do a quick fussy cut with these big old scissors. I always used to laugh at Rosemary because she used those 14-inch blades to fussy cut with. That's talent. That's talent. And here I'm using not 14-inch blades. These are too big to fussy cut with. But we're doing it. I thought Becky made some interesting points in her stream today. I didn't see the stream because I have to tell you guys, I had a sleepless night last night. That's why I didn't stream this morning. I didn't get any sleep till 5 o'clock this morning. I finally fell asleep. I said, I was too wiped out to come in here and stream. And that's why I didn't stream. But I did get to watch Becky's replay. And she made a point on those older patterns where they only show one size. You buy your pattern for one size. If you wanted a pattern to fit large, small, and medium, I'm not sure exactly what they sell today, but you can get patterns that are made for more than one size, the same style today. Well, you couldn't earlier in the century. And also, if the pattern was for a top, there's a fly in here visiting my face. If the pattern was for the top, you would not get a pattern for the jeans, even though that was pictured on the front of the pattern. I thought that was very interesting. And I'm just going to cut across here. Because these little boys are going to go at the top of the steps. I like that a lot. Maybe they'll put them, no, they belong right here. That's where they belong. Right at the top of the stairs. Actually, I'm wondering if maybe I could cut them apart, put one here, and two up there. Now, let's not go to that detail. We could do that another time. I want to get it done. I don't want to be dilly-dallying after 10 o'clock tonight. Where's my... that fly is driving me nuts. And he's doing it on purpose. He's probably going, let's fly right in Mary's face. Do you ever have those flies do that? It's like they know they're going to annoy you. And they do everything they can to get in your face. It's like, try to catch me. I want wanted to do something else tonight. It's going to have to wait till Sunday night. I'm not going to have time because I'm going to leave at 10 o'clock tonight. I want these boys to go right at the top of the steps. We're going to kind of slant them. That'll be okay. I kind of like that. And then this quote, where is that? Up above the world so high, kind of goes with the airplane that they're looking at. And I pulled them out of two different areas, two different pages. I like that, up above the world so high. Where's my scissors? And we still have to do the pointillism. And I'm just going to kind of cut around. So I might be doing more of this ChatGPT inspired art. It isn't like the chat is, it's not like the chat is doing my art for me. It gave me some prompts to use. So I would not say, I would say this is my art, not chat's art. It just inspired me to go do some stuff. Up above the world so high. This page makes sense to me now. Kind of tells its story. These little boys are admiring that jet airplane. And it'd be fun to put a postage stamp on there, wouldn't it? I'll have one here. I might have one. And where am I going to put it? Over here? Or I hate to cover up all the steps. I'm going to put it right there, though. Now we'll put it right up at the top and leave it. I like that. That kind of makes sense. Now, what can we find for him? I've got to find something that makes sense. He's pushing a cart. Let me get that magazine out again, see if I can't find a prompt, journal spot. Gathering of West African dishes. I don't think that one works. Truly something wonderful happens when you enter the world of. House beautiful. Truly something wonderful happens when you enter the world. I kind of like that. This says patterns, needlecraft. I'm just looking for words. Go professional, or 60 professional. Oil pastels. Oh, that's interesting. How much did they want? I may return a prompt and complete refund. Enclosed is a check for. A great gift to buy for only $2.98. You know, buy it at the thrift store. Oh, I like this. It's 1/3 of your life. Spend it dreaming in Wamsuda. Dream a little longer. This is no iron something. But there's a castle there. Let's pull this out. I'm liking this page. I'm even liking the color, but I probably won't use the color. I like this castle. I don't know if I'll use that, but I like the prompt. It's 1/3 of your life, spend it dreaming. Dream a little longer. And we'll just cut off all the other words. There's a castle here. I'm going to put this back in my magazine. I like the coloring on this. I might use that on another game or something. Who knows? Uh-oh. What happened to my... Where did it blow off to? Is that it? Did I put it back in here? there's that. Did it fly? Where did my words fly off to? Did you guys see where it flew off? Oh, right here. Jeez. All right, I gotta glue those down before I lose them again. It says, it's 1/3 of your life. Spend it dreaming. Dream a little longer. That's what I want. And I'm just kind of whacking them out here. I'm going to cut all the other stuff off. Something about no iron. No iron something. Probably a sheet or something. And actually, I think I'll put it, it just doesn't quite fit. So I'm going to cut this off here. Cut this off. There. It's 1/3 of your life. Spend it dreaming, and dream a little longer. So let's put those down before I lose them. Yeah. Move this around. Time goes fast when you're doing this stuff. I had other things I wanted to do tonight. I'm just not going to get to them. I guess I'll have something to do Sunday night because I'll probably do my tassel offline and I'll show it to you Sunday night because I want to complete that tassel for my tatting journal. I made that Meri tats. I don't want to touch it with my fingers now, but now the only thing I have left to do in here is some pointillism, and I'm going to throw all of these. I might save this. I'm going to throw all of these scraps away, put my palette knife away, put my glue away because we're done with that. I'm going to put this back in the magazine, use it for possibly another prompt. Oh, look, the better way. That would make a good prompt, too. Throw this stickiness away. And now all I have left to do for the last prompt is pointillism. So pointillism. Pointillism. Must be way up here. Pointillism is a painting technique where small, distinct dots of color are applied to create an image. These dots are often close together and the viewer's eyes blend them at a distance. George Seurat is a famous artist known for his pointillist works such as A Sunday Afternoon on the Island of La Grande Jatte. George Seurat. Let's do a new tab. George Seurat. Oh, he did that. He did this one. A Sunday Afternoon on the Grand. This one. Now, I can't get that detailed here. Let's see. He did a lot of. I'm wanting to do something in black and white. Can I do something in just black and? Let's just say black and see if what it brings up. White pointillism. And see if it brings up anything inspired. Oh, yeah. Let's look at some of these images. Oh, there's a kitty, there's a man. But see, I want something very, very simple. Here's an owl. Owl Pointillism by Meri Atelier. Wow. That's pretty cool. Look at those owls. Now, that's going to take too long for me to do. But I'm getting inspired. Boy, look at these. Wow. Let's go back and say in public domain and see what happens. If there's anything I can print off. In public domain. White abstract striped background. Pointillism black and white stock from, let's see. I want something I'm pretty sure is going to be in the public domain. That's on Etsy. George Seurat, the father of pointillism. Now see, here's a fish outline. I could do something simple like that, or even something very, very simple. I don't see that these are all in the public domain. Let's see if I can go to I don't know if this is it or not. Oh, I misspelled it. Public domain. I'm such a good typist. And let's go to all. And go to here. And oh, it's for sale. The site is for sale. Publicdomain.com is for sale. I wonder what that public domain pictures, free stock photos, public domain files. Publicdomainfiles.com. And let's see if we can search for, does it have a search? Up here, pointillism. Pointillism. Go. Let's see if there's anything out here. Oh. Nope. So, results is 0, so that's not going to work for me. So, I want something real simple. I've got 20 minutes, less than 20 minutes. And I've got black. What do I want to do? I don't know if I really want to do a picture. I think I'll just do dots. I don't think I want to do a picture because I don't have time for that tonight. I'm just going to put a pointillism border around here and we'll draw. So you could call this more doodling than you really want to. As you saw in those pictures when I Googled it, people belabor over all of that. I don't have time for all of that here. And I'm just going to draw a little border around here, around my page. Just for the fun of it. And really what they do is they work on getting dots real close together to show darkness. Like this. We could do that with stripes to show really close together, and then further apart to show more of a sparse area. Let's bring this down like this. And this, you know, you could really get dark in there. Just a whole bunch of dots. I'm not sure I want to do all that. I don't have the patience to do all of that. So I'm just going to do dots. But I understand the concept. I just don't have the time in 10 minutes to do all of that. It's fun to think about it, though, to review the concept. And they wouldn't have a line like that. They would probably, like I said, if they want something to show up darker, they put the dots closer together. And they want it to show up lighter, even though they got the same tone of ink. They make them more sparse. Let's see if I can't. With this pen, and it's all going to run together if I'm not careful. And then down in here it's really light. Let's put these darker. And I'm just going to do it fast here. I wonder if George Seurat did something like this when he was just developing the concept. Yeah, we'll leave those really light and separate. And then we'll make these really dark in here. Closer together. And of course, if you have the right tools and everything, you get different results. I'm just using a pen plus gear marker. And we're going to call it pointillism because there's a lot of points. And then I'm going to bring it up like that. And then we'll do, what is that? What was that? Blew across the fan's blowing. Scared me. What is that? That piece of paper? Thought it was a bug. I'm gonna make these real light. And I'm gonna go in really dark here again. It's kind of the concept. You would, if you really want to do a good job of it, you would spend hours on this. I'm not going to spend hours on it. And you'd probably use different colors too. And I'm just using black. And then you could do the same thing over here, although I'm not inclined to. I'm just going to draw. I'm only going to use pointillism on that side and call it done. Because it's 10:49, I want to come out and chat. Let me border this over here. I'm going to call this done. I'm only doing the pointillism over here. I still did the prompt, but I only did it on one side of the page. And so this will go into my journal. I suppose I should write. I don't want to write it here with this pen. Let's write on it. I'll put this with it, like this, in my journal. This is from the junk journal shop. It's just a piece of paper that she put in there. And I printed a bird off on this side of it, an owl. Let me sign this and date it. And 9/29/2023. It's kind of hard to read it there, but I'll look at the date over here. So these are the prompts I used, and the prompts were layering, which I layered collage images out of the magazine. I kind of liked going through that magazine and pulling things because they came from different areas. These steps came from up over here on a whole different page. This was part of a bridge here. I tore it because I wanted the background to show. Pointillism, that's what I did there, kind of a makeshift pointillism. Wash or ink wash is the raw sienna background watercolor, which I find to be kind of chalky. And frottage is this area here. I used this lace, and I used this marker, and I did a rubbing of this lace. I covered a lot of it up, but it's there. And rubber stamp printing is the text in the background. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it is there. So, it's fun to do this. I didn't think it was going to take me this long to do it, because I had some other things I wanted to do tonight, but there it is. So let me come out and look at chat. Tomorrow's Saturday. I know Chris is on tomorrow morning. Whoops, did I drop that? I just quit doing things. Chris is on tomorrow on Saturdays from 7 to 9, 8 to 9. Let's get it out. My memory of this stuff. Saturday from 8 to 9 a.m. Eastern, Chris comes on. I can't pronounce her last name. Kilue, I think it is. I'll have to get the correct pronunciation from her. I think Stacy will be on at 10. She says daily. Now, I don't know if that includes weekends or not. I did see her on one day, so you might look for her if you're looking for somebody to watch. Saturday night, Beth Schuler comes on at 6 p.m. Eastern. I will be back Sunday night. I have some other things I want to do, and then, excuse me while I straighten this stuff up over here. I've got my tape falling off of the roll. I need to finish up those birds. I want to stamp off this to make some notes to put in my owl envelopes, those little note cards. on the cards, little notes saying hi, enjoy your art, that type of thing. I was going to do that tonight, but it's too close to 10 to do it now. So let me refresh chat and come out. Hi, Brenda. Allie K. Allie K says, I think I'm pretty much cleared out now. Allie K says, I'm planning on a new quilt. It will be for donation for my church quilt group. We donate to the Orphan Grain Train. Oh, that's cool, Allie. Allie says, I'm excited. Tomorrow, I get the new carpet installed in my sewing room. I haven't been able to sew for several months due to the basement upgrades. Wow, that's cool, Allie K. You're going to have to keep us updated on how that goes. Brenda, hi Brenda, welcome in. She says, we had a round the world themed camp one year. I drew outlines of Australian animals on a leftover piece of masonite. We had about 50 girls, 5 or 6 at a time, and they'd go make dots on Australia Day. Oh, that's cool. That sounds fun, Brenda. They had their own 8x10 boards of their own that they did in craft time. Thursday, a few girls helped after the dotting that wasn't done. After dotted what wasn't done. I bribed them with a meal from Sonic. It took 2 hours to finish. Wow. So that brings back some memories, huh? That's pretty cool. Hi, Christy. She says, I'm going to stream with Beth Schuler tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Maybe we can do a pick 10. Well, that's cool. Christy, have fun. Beth Schuler streams on Saturday nights at 6 p.m. She has a lot of people come in as guests. So Christy is going to be a guest tomorrow night. So have fun doing that, Christy. That sounds cool. I would try to do more of that, but my phones, I stream with my phone, and they just do not work with the streaming software where we bring in people or try to. I get a terrible, terrible sound problem. I don't know why. I still need to see if I can get my laptop going, but I get involved in doing other things, so. But I wish you a good time. Brenda say, lots of dots. It's behind my couch because I got so tired of looking at it. It had several camp projects I changed out. Yeah. Well, you know, the same way with these things. You know, our art journals, we work in them and we have fun. But we put them, we get tired of them eventually. I have a lot of mine now in a box. I pulled them off of the buffet over there. And I want to get that bookshelf put up, but in order to get the bookshelf put up, I got to get the boxes upstairs sorted out and in storage. And in order to do that, it has to be cooler than 90 because upstairs it gets to be 101 up there, and I can't work up there. And so I want to clear off I'm going to take one of my brother's tables that they used to sell his airplanes at a craft fair. And he's got 3 tables in this little stash room over here that I have my stuff in. And I'm going to take those upstairs. And he's got a spare bathroom upstairs that we don't use. And I'm going to put one of those tables across. He's got a clawfoot bathtub, but we don't use it. I don't know, she might have used it when she was alive, but we don't use it. And he's turned the plumbing off upstairs. He turned everything off. And so I'm going to use that bathroom as a storage room. I'm going to put that table across the bathtub and make a base for my boxes that I drug upstairs. And when I get all of those drug upstairs, then I got a bookshelf that's sitting out in my brother's car that he's going to put together that I can put in the little stash room where I can put all my books and my journals and everything. But see, that just all, it'll get done when it gets done. I mean, you know, that's the way it goes. And I have things behind, I don't have it behind my couch. There's no couch. We have recliners in my brother likes recliners, so he got rid of all the couches. We have 4 recliners in the living room. And I've sorted it all out though. I have Somerset magazines behind my chair, my recliner. Have a wonderful Saturday, Becky says. She's off to bed. Good night, Becky. Sweet dreams. Thanks for sticking with us tonight. You must be tired. It would be awesome to stream with you, Miss Meri. It would be fun, but I've tried it several times with different people. I've tried it with Ann. I've tried it with Dee Dee. I've tried it with Lori. I've tried it with Tanya. And for some reason, on my phones is what I'm using now to stream with. And when I go out to like StreamYard, and I think I even tried this new meetup stuff that Google has, their go live together thing, it even echoes. I tried it with Lori, and for some reason there's something in my phone that doesn't like that process. I don't know what, and I just say, well, oh well, I'll just enjoy other people. Sweet dreams, Becky. Let's see, what else am I missing? Allie K got a new rug in her sewing room. Allie K says, let's see, she says, having some digestive issues tonight. Is starting to feel a bit better. I think my caramel chocolate this afternoon put me over the edge. I have a sensitivity to too much sugar. I don't go, when I eat sugar, oh dear. We won't go any further with that. Wait until you guys see this gal on mine. What gal on yours? What is she talking about? You go, girl. I got one hat made today with Shannon during her crochet along, Becky said. Yeah, Becky is working on crocheted hats every year, or for at least last year. I don't know if she does it every year. Lizzie Brewer donates hats for the homeless, and Becky's been contributing. I would contribute something, but I tell you, I'm just overwhelmed with stuff. I don't want to commit and then not meet. I just barely got these mailed out, and I'm hoping they'll get to Janet by tomorrow. I sent them priority on Tuesday, so they should, if the post office lives up to their cost of mailing. I paid $12 to mail priority nowadays. Kathy, how did your shed painting go? Becky says. Kathy says, hi, Becky. I got the first coat all done. We'll do the second coat tomorrow. Kathy says, she's not sunbathing in the buff? Well, I would hope not in a Good Housekeeping magazine. We're talking about that picture. I thought she was in the buff, but she had a bathing suit on. It just was neutral colored. Melody says, I love old magazines like that. They're such fun with the pictures. Those magazines are fun. Well, you guys, it's 2 after 10. So I want to thank you all for coming in. And, yeah. Christy says, I've got OBS, a free download. You know, I tried that. Or is it QBS? I might try that QBS sometime. I don't think you can do that on mobile, though. You have to do it on laptop. I know what QBS is, and I played around with it a little, but it's been a long time. You know what, you guys, I just don't have the time I don't want to take the time to mess around with all that stuff. I understand all the technical, well, most of it, you know, but the problem is I've got other things I want to do. Yeah, like art and tatting. So it's 10 after 2. Look for Chris tomorrow around 8 to 9 Eastern. And Stacy Catitude maybe around 10. I don't know if she streams on Saturdays or not. She just said daily. But you could look. And then the other one is Beth Schuler, and Christy is going to join her tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Eastern. Have a great weekend. Go out, enjoy enjoy the day, enjoy the nice weather. It's pretty hot here yet. It's in the high 80s, 90s yet here, but go enjoy it. Go enjoy your life while you have it. Have a great weekend, everybody. Good night. Bye.